The next steps to get to your composition from here is you're going to need a piece of copy paper. Yep, another piece of copy paper. Your pencil, eraser if you think you're going to need it, pencil sharpener, some tape, any kind of tape will do. And you're going to need either your business card or ruler, something that you can trace your letters with. And so we're going to talk about composition. So if you were to cut this in half visually, what would you notice? So if I cut the paper in half this way, you'll see that I have my vanishing point at the very bottom and my horizon line. And the horizon line is about 1/4 of an inch off the bottom. So the first step would be making sure you knew where that vanishing point is. What would be the next step? The most important part would be your focal point, which are your letters. So you're going to draw those next. You're not going to draw the perspective lines until you have all of your shapes in. You're going to just start with your letters. But what do you notice is in the center, I have my E in the center and then the J and the D to the side. So if you do in fact have 3 letters, that makes it easy because you are going to center your E or your letter that's in the middle from left to right, and then you'll go to the right and do the other letter and then to the left. And you'll also notice that they're not all lined up. That I've kind of put the E a little higher and then the J a little lower and the D a little lower. I did put these 2 letters approximately on the same plane. You can also rotate your letters if you want. You can keep them straight up and down. How you do it is up to you. You do want to keep it symmetrical. It's going to look more pleasing to the eye when it's symmetrical, meaning that it's something centered, and then whatever you do on the right side, do on the left side. So it's a mirror image. You can see that I tried to do that with these shapes. This one not so good, but you get the idea. Okay, so let's start with the blank paper. Here's the blank paper. The easiest way to find the center of this paper is actually just to fold it in half and just give it a little pinch on the bottom. There is my bottom. I'm going to put my vanishing point right there, and very lightly I'm going to put my horizon line just so I have it as a point of reference. I'm going to line up that ruler with the bottom of the paper and carefully slide it up until I see the vanishing point and try to see that I have it visually parallel. Very lightly draw that horizon line. The vanishing point is much more important than your horizon line at this point. Now I need to decide where I'm going to put that first letter. So if this is the center, I could also pinch the top of the paper and draw a very light line. Okay, light pressure, very light pressure just down the middle so I can see where that is. And then let's decide where you're going to put that first letter. So if I look at the bottom of the E to the bottom of the paper and measure with my pencil, you can see it's this much. And then up here it's shorter, so it's definitely closer to the top. And I want to leave just enough room at the top here so that I can put some shapes. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your letters that you drew out. Here's your letter. And you're going to trace them. And the easiest way to do this is to go over to a window, tape your letters that you drew to the window, and then put the paper over it that you're going to be working with. And I can see through this from here. You probably cannot see through it on the camera. And I'm just going to visually line up so I can see the E, and I'm going to use my ruler and I'm going to trace that E. So go ahead and trace your center letter, or if you are doing 4 letters, say if you're doing, say, the word love, what you would do, I'll quickly show you what that would look like. Here's a little thumbnail sketch. So here's this is your paper, and you folded it in half this way, and you knew you wanted your letters to be up here. You put the O first, and then the V, and then the L, and then the E, so that you can visually space them so they look even. And you notice that I turned them as they went, so they kind of make like an arch shape. Okay, so trace off those letters in position, and then I will show you the next steps in adding some fun shapes. This is my first letter, and when I go to do the next letters, notice that they're spaced out. The reason why I have them spaced out is so that you can add these perspective lines and you will see the sides of the letters. If they're too close, you won't see all the sides. So next step is to add the J and the D. You go ahead and add your letters, and I will meet you back here for adding the interesting shapes. And you can add any kind of shapes you want. You can add squares, stars, triangles, hearts, abstract, unknown shapes, whatever you like. So see you in a little bit. Bye.